Welcome to NaNoWriMo 2020! What's up, y'all? Welcome to the kickoff to my series of vlogs about NaNoWriMo 2020. So this is going to be my first year doing NaNoWriMo. If you don't know what NaNoWriMo is, it is basically an annual event where you write 50,000 words in a month, specifically in the month of November. And there is a website, NaNoWriMo.org, where you track your writing time. You can find writing buddies and things like that. So if you're not aware, I did do Camp NaNoWriMo in the spring, which is a version of NaNoWriMo where you get to set your own writing goal and then you shoot for your writing goal. It works the same way, but you don't have to do 50,000 words. And I did a couple of videos about that, and I enjoyed that so much that I decided I wanted to do NaNoWriMo in the fall, the real deal, if I was available and if I was able to. And I've decided that I'm going to try. I'm going to attempt to do NaNoWriMo for the first time. Now, there are going to be some things that are different than whenever I did Camp NaNoWriMo. For one, my original goal for Camp NaNoWriMo was, I believe, 20,000 words. The finished story ended up being between 40,000 and it might have been closer to 45,000 words. Still wasn't 50,000 words, don't get me wrong, but after I did some editing, it was a little bit longer. Whenever I did Camp NaNoWriMo, I was on furlough because of quarantine. I was not having to work during that time. I am going to be working during NaNoWriMo, and not only that, but it will be the beginning of the holiday season. And so I may be working a little bit more than I normally would, perhaps. Probably not as much as perhaps might come in December, but nonetheless, I'm going to be working 4 to 5 nights a week. And so that is going to affect how much I can get done. I also have responsibilities that I think I already had them by the time I was doing Camp NaNoWriMo, but the difference was that for one, I might not have had as many responsibilities, and I also was not having those responsibilities and doing work. Now, I believe I can do it, but it's going to take a lot of time management, and this is definitely going to be a learning curve because this is my first time doing anything like this. And so I'm going to be trying some new things that I've never done before. I kind of viewed Camp NaNoWriMo as an experiment to create a story and to try doing things that otherwise I might not do just for a regular writing project because it intimidated me. And while I am going to approach NaNoWriMo a little bit differently than I did Camp NaNoWriMo, in that I am going to be better prepared, partly because I have more notice. Like I mentioned in the video about me doing Camp NaNoWriMo, I literally decided to do it the day that Camp NaNoWriMo started. So I did not have time to prepare my plot beforehand. I believe I might have had, I think I even came up with the idea just within, the time of Camp NaNoWriMo, which, if you want more on that, go watch the video. It was a very fun experience. But I'm going to try some new things. And one of the things I'm going to try doing is I'm going to be plotting my story in a Happy Planner notebook. It's called Happy Notes. And I've used the Happy Planner mini planner before. This is my 2020 planner, and I really enjoyed it. So I decided to get Happy Notes. And the first vlog is going to be me plotting the story and kind of getting a feel for how to plot the story in my Happy Notes, because normally whenever I plot a story, I do it on notebook paper, and that's fine, but I really liked the idea of having it in a customizable notebook that's just for that specific story, and I can, do fun things and just make it a little bit more visually appealing than maybe just plain notebook paper. And so keep an eye out for that vlog because that's going to be the first vlog. So I am obviously starting to plot my story. Now, it is only September the time I'm videoing this. It may be October by the time the video comes out, but October in the NaNoWriMo world is known as preptober, and that's because you're preparing your story. I don't know about you, but I would not feel good going into November knowing I need to write 50,000 words and not having any idea what story I want to write. I don't know if that would be possible. Somebody's probably done it, but that probably wouldn't be me. So I'm going to try to have as much of the story plotted out as I can beforehand. Now, I consider myself a plotter. In fact, on my author newbie tag that I did a while back, I stated that I was a hard plotter. Now, looking back, as I've learned more about my writing habits, I don't know that I would call myself a hard plotter, because even though I very much like to have the story plotted out, there are a lot of things that I discover along the way, especially about characters. I have not really found creating character profiles helpful to me. I find that I connect with characters better when I just spend time thinking about them, coming up with scenes, you know, and thinking about how they would react, better than I do just writing, you know, a profile with how they look, their personality, and their goals. I'm sure all writers have some point in their writing time, or at least most writers have some point in their writing time where they, you know, derail from their plot outline or their plan a little bit and discover things about their characters along the way. I'm sure that's something a lot of us, or most of us, do at some point or another. But I find that to be helpful for me, and creating things like character profiles sometimes not so helpful. I am going to try, because I like the idea of having a notebook where I have like everything about the story. I might even throw in some sketches of like the faces of some of my characters, because I have started doing illustrations. That's one of the first steps that I do. Like I mentioned in one of my older videos actually about my process to writing a novel, which I will link. I'll link all these videos that I'm mentioning up in the cards and down in the description. So yeah, I'm excited. So the story that I'm going to be writing for NaNoWriMo 2020 is going to be a fantasy story. Now, my Camp NaNoWriMo project was also a fantasy story, but like you'll hear me talking about in some of the upcoming vlogs, it's going to be different than my Camp NaNoWriMo story. Neither story had magic, but my Camp NaNoWriMo story was a little bit less original of a world, and so you'll hear more about that in my vlog about plotting in a Happy Notes planner. And so be sure to subscribe, and also if you are watching this video at a later date and you want to see all my NaNoWriMo videos for NaNoWriMo 2020 in order, there will be a playlist as I'm coming out with the videos of all the videos for my NaNoWriMo, including Preptober 2020, and I will put that down in the description and either up in the cards and or on the end screen. So stay tuned, because NaNoWriMo 2020 is going to be a lot of fun. There's going to be a lot of learning, I'm sure, and I know you all really enjoy when I do vlogs. I personally enjoy seeing how other people do their writing process, so perhaps this will inspire you. And if you are doing NaNoWriMo this year, please let me know down in the comments. One thing that I hear from people is that it's really best to do NaNoWriMo with some buddies. It's really best, you know, to do it with some people who are also doing it, so you can kind of chat about it, be accountable to each other, and also it just makes it more fun. It's a lot more fun to do it kind of in a community setting. So stay tuned, this is going to be a blast, and have fun whether you're doing NaNoWriMo or anything else. Get out there and write the story that God created you to write. And stay tuned for my adventures in NaNoWriMo.